Everything you were taught about hard work and money is wrong. Not partially wrong. Not slightly misleading. Completely, fundamentally, wrong. And the proof is sitting right in front of you every single day. The hardest working people you know are not the wealthiest ones. And the wealthiest people you know are not necessarily the hardest working ones. So what is actually going on? Think about the people who work the hardest in America. Construction workers, nurses, factory workers, farm workers, single parents working 2 jobs, people who wake up before sunrise and come home after dark, people who pour every ounce of physical and mental energy they have into their work every single day. Are they the wealthiest people in the country? Not even close. Now think about people who built enormous wealth, who got there through leverage, through systems, through owning things that worked for them while they slept. Most of them work less physically than the construction worker, less hours than the nurse, less strain than the factory worker. And yet the gap between their wealth and the wealth of those hardworking people is almost incomprehensible. That is not fair. And it is not random. It is a fundamental truth about how wealth is actually built that most people were never taught. Hard work is necessary, but it is not sufficient. And confusing necessary with sufficient is one of the most expensive mistakes a person can make with their financial life. Because if you believe hard work alone leads to wealth, you will spend your entire life working harder and harder while the actual path to wealth sits quietly beside you, completely ignored. Hard work trades time for money, and time always runs out. This is the fundamental ceiling of hard work as a wealth strategy. No matter how hard you work, you only have 24 hours in a day, which means your income from hard work alone is always capped, always limited, always dependent on your continued physical presence and effort. The moment you stop working, the money stops coming. That is not wealth. That is a treadmill, a faster treadmill than most, but a treadmill nonetheless. Wealth is built when your money works harder than you do, when systems generate income without requiring your direct time and effort every single day, when you own things that produce value independent of how many hours you personally put in. Hard work can give you the resources to start building that, but hard work alone will never get you there. Now here is the psychological reason this trap is so hard to escape. Working harder feels like progress, even when it is not. There is a deeply satisfying feeling that comes from working hard, from being busy, from being exhausted at the end of the day. Feels like you are doing something, moving forward, earning your place, and that feeling is addictive, especially for people who were raised to believe that hard work is a virtue, that busy means productive, that exhaustion means effort. But busyness is not the same as progress. Exhaustion is not the same as growth. And working harder inside a broken system does not fix the system. It just makes you more tired inside it. The shift that changes everything is moving from working harder to working smarter. From trading more time for more money to building things that generate money without requiring more of your time. That shift is not easy. It requires a completely different way of thinking about what work actually is. And it requires the courage to stop doing more of what is not working. Here is the truth I want you to carry with you. Hard work is not the enemy. It is the foundation. But foundations are not buildings. They are just the starting point. The most financially successful people in America did not get there by working harder than everyone else. They got there by eventually working differently, by using their hard work as fuel to build something that worked for them, not just something they worked for. You deserve more than a lifetime of harder and harder work with the same financial result at the end of it. And getting more requires not more effort. It requires a different direction. Be honest in the comments. Do you feel like you are working hard but not getting ahead financially? Just yes or no. Because if the answer is yes, everything on this channel is built specifically for you. Hit subscribe because every week we go deeper into the psychology and the truth behind money. I will see you there.